Hey gang, Coach Keyjohn here, and I'm here with the amazing Dr. Michelle, and we are going to be doing a tutorial on the Deka Strong events and how we feel that we're actually capable of bringing this video to you. We are currently the co-ed world champions, and we're also now a Deka affiliate. And world champions meaning of our age category 100 and above. So Deka stands for 10, and today we're going to go through all the exercises. The first of the 10 will be reverse lunges. And the lovely Dr. Michelle will actually be doing a demonstration on how to do it perfectly. I'm going to have Dr. Michelle, why don't you grab that for me?
Yeah, so this is a RAM. This is kind of like a unique piece of equipment to the Deka events. It looks like a foam roller, but it's pretty heavy. This is 33 pounds for women.
For women, 33, and for men?
55.
Okay, so before we get started, we're going to go ahead and show you 3 variations. You do what works for you, and then we're going to show you how Dr. Michelle does it and helped us get to the own that world title. So anyway, so what's going to happen is you're going to put it behind your back.
The rule is it has to be on your shoulders.
It has to be on
somehow.
your shoulders.
So you can
this
do
is
it.
Variation 1. Why don't you go ahead and just do maybe 3 per foot. 1, 1. Here we go. Abs tight. You have to come to full extension all the way up, straight line from the hip to the ankle joint. Okay, that's variation 1. Now variation 2, she's going to go across the right shoulder. So it does not matter the angle, whatever's comfortable. You can hold it straight, you can hold it diagonal. She goes across her body. She's going to go ahead and do 2 per foot. 1, 1, 2, and 2. And the third variation that's legal is across the side. Okay, so now what's going to happen is this the side that you always do?
No, the other side is my side.
You're going to go ahead and do 2 steps per foot, but watch, she did it on the other hand, but watch how she uses the opposing hand to help push up. This is a very great technique to help alleviate some of the pressure and also the lactic acid that builds up. It definitely helps.
Yeah, so you don't have to, I hold it with my hand on the inside. Some people hold it like this, but that's a lot harder for me.
And also the goal is not to hold it there, it's to balance it there. So if you balance it perfectly, just like you can ride a motorcycle, a 1,000-pound motorcycle, if you're dead center, there's no weight. So make sure if you choose to go on either shoulder, is that you find your balance point where you're just supporting it from falling, not holding it there.
Yes, and would you say to get your reverse lunge form down first before you even add the weight?
Oh yes, as a matter of fact, can you go ahead and put that down for me? Like she said, great tip is practice body weight. So whenever you step back, abs tight. So your knee has to touch the mat and replace. Go ahead and do maybe 3 per side. Notice that she's standing fully at the hip. Her heel stays north. She's not going flat-footed. Watch, toe, and give me 3 more toes. 1, torso up, 2, and 2. Give me 1 more. 3, touch the knee, and last one, touch the knee. Thank you, Doc.
When I'm stepping back, I'm stepping slightly wider than my feet are starting. So I'm stepping about shoulder width for balance. Because if I step here,
right,
it's a little wobbly.
You're walking like a tightrope, and you don't want to do that. So great tip. So give that a shot. Get the form down first, and then graduate to the RAM. And we are at the number 2 station for the Deka Strong. And I just want to clarify, the Deka Strong is the same 10 events as Deka Mild, Deka Fit, Deka Ultra. It's just that there's just no running. So the Deka Strong, you just go from event to event to event. This is event number 2 of 10. This here is the rower, concept 2, and it's 500 meters.
Yes, 500 meters.
Okay, now we compete as co-ed, and we split the 500 meters. The one thing about Deka, you can choose the male, the female individual. Obviously as an individual, you have to do all 500. We choose to split 250, 250. And so the biggest thing, and I'll let Dr. Michelle add in as well, is leg drive. The biggest thing is leg drive. Maximize your range of motion. You have a flywheel here. So if you're just like doing short little pulls, it's like sitting in a rowboat. You want to reach far forward and drive that oar into the water. It's the same concept. And you're also breathing. Make sure you get your breathing in. What would you like to add?
Couple things. One, people always ask about the damper setting, which is how much airflow is going through the fan. I guess if you're starting, I would say between a 4 and a 6 is probably a good place to start. And then as you get stronger, you can play around with higher, lower damper settings. It depends on like how fast, how many strokes per minute you want to be doing compared to how much power you have.
And right, because her and I, we could both do 35 strokes per minute because I'm 200 pounds to her 125, even when we're doing the same strokes per minute, my power is going to generate a much faster time. So my personal tip to the athletes out there, if you're looking to go into a Deka event, is the maximum amount of on the dampener, you know, I'm going to probably be doing a 9, but when I started, I was probably about a 5. And that does not fatigue you, because what happens is you want to make sure that you get the fastest time, but you got 8 more events afterwards too. So that's something to remember.
Yeah, so I would say you're doing a 9 mostly because you're doing 250 meters and not the whole 500.
Right. If I was doing 500 meters, the power it would take out of me at level number 9 would not sustain for 500 meters. I would die pretty hard. But that's so individual. You have to find, you have to spend time and play with the damper and look at your times.
But definitely get your form down first, and we're going to go over proper rowing forms. A lot of people, especially like CrossFit athletes or just like people at the gym doing just regular fitness, don't usually use proper rowing form. But if you look at people who are like competitive rowers, Olympic rowers, they're using the right form, and you get more out of it actually.
Dr. Michelle and I, we split 250, 250. However, she's going to go ahead and do the demonstration by herself. The biggest thing is you may not be able to see from the camera angle, but you have this heel and foot strap with a strap that goes across the top of the shoe. If you're 6'6", you probably want to be all the way down. So make sure that you place the holes to accommodate your foot size. So go ahead.
I like for the strap to go right across where my laces start at the bottom of my shoe. Mm-hmm. So some people say over the widest part of the shoe, but I actually think it's more comfortable across where the laces start.
And after you do it a few times, you'll start to get a feel for it. And she has it very snug, but not ultra tight, because especially if you're practicing and you know you're at the gym, that's one thing. But if you're at the event, you need to get out of there really quickly. So she has it snug, but not ultra tight. So Doc, if you wouldn't mind grabbing the handle. So what happens is the full range of motion, lean a little forward, that right there is a nice stretch. Notice her torso. Can you go to perpendicular? So that is perpendicular. Look how much distance she lost. Can you bend forward? So she's bending forward probably, I don't know, maybe 35 degrees. Obviously, if you're 6'6", you got more of a bend. Play with that, but you definitely want to lean forward. Her bar is past her toes or the top of the foot strap. Go ahead and do maybe 10 reps, Doc. So we're going to go ahead and do a basic row to go straight line, because people want, okay. This is how we started whenever we started at the beginning of 2025. Bend your knees, go straight, exhale. Okay, so I'm going to coach for 5 more. Breathe in, drive through your feet. Breathe in. This is the basic technique, going straight from here to her sternum. Now, go ahead and give me about 10 reps. Watch your technique. Sternum, past her thighs. Sternum, drop down past her knees. You want to make sure the bar is past your knees and then you bend forward. This is the optimum rowing technique, about 5 more. And what happens here is it's all leg drive. Your upper body is just finishing the acceleration from the leg drive. 3 more, drive, got to breathe in. Drive, breathe in, 1 more, and set her down. Go ahead, Doc. Tell what you felt and what you're focusing on as you're doing this movement.
Yeah, so I'm focusing on pushing into my heels as if I'm doing like a deadlift. And what I'm doing is I'm going legs, then my arms, and then a lean back.
Stop right there. Notice she has a slight, probably about 20 degrees past perpendicular. This is perpendicular. Come forward. Okay, that's perpendicular. By leaning back 15 to 35 degrees, it allows another extra inch and a half range of motion. You've got to understand, if someone's 6'4", this is going to travel a lot further. Yeah. And every time that you go ahead and do a stroke, the flywheel spins, which actually is accumulating distance, thus giving you a faster time.
Yeah, so when you come back, you don't want to go legs first. You want to come arms and then legs.
So to your sternum, past your knees, and then go forward. The biggest thing, you got to breathe in, catch your breath, drive, and relax. Drive your legs and relax.
And to get out, you just take the little, push them down, put up and out.
And just real quickly too, a little tip on this is practice getting out quickly, because during the event, your adrenaline's going. I have seen so many athletes get stuck in there because they put no effort into the technique to get out. Dr. Michelle and I, we chose, in the beginning, I was going to do all 500 meters. but it took my legs out of me. So we were going to swap at 250 meters a piece. So the one thing that we want to point out, you might not be able to see from the vantage point, but on the dampener, I'm going to go ahead and do a number 9. I'm about 200 pounds and I'm a squatter, so I can handle that kind of power. Obviously, she's ultra fit and very strong, but you know, at 60, 70 pounds lighter, her dampener is going to go to 7. So here's what you have to know, is that I'm going to go ahead and do 10 strokes. At about the 7th stroke, she's going to lower from 9 to her 7. And you have to talk to your partner if you're doing this as a partnership, and you have to talk. But when I have 3 strokes left, she will put it to her dampener setting. She will come around. She will unloosen this side. As I come forward and hold on to this with one hand, I will loosen my left side. She will take my spot, she will grab the handles, and I will lock it in. This has taken some time to practice, but we're going to go ahead, not at full speed, but we'll go a little slower so you can watch. Ready, Doc?
Yeah, when you're doing this, if you're doing teams and you're going for time, every second counts. So the more you can dial in the partner-to-partner transition to make it seamless as possible and keep the flywheel going, then you're going to be able to make up your time pretty quick.
Yeah, and also this is important. Whenever I was doing it by myself, actually, Doc said, hey, maybe we should consider, you know, splitting out. That's going to take too much time, blah, 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 getting in and out. And once we got so efficient at getting in and out, our times went down a lot, and my legs were saved for the next exercise. Are you ready?
Yeah, notice when we do the transition, I'm not going to grab the handle from him. He's going to hold on to the handle. I'm actually going to grab the seat, because I want to hold on to the seat while I put my butt down on it, because the worst thing you could do is try to sit down, the seat rolls, and then you fall on the ground.
Yeah. All right, I'll just go ahead and do 10. 8, 2 more. 9 and 10. And just go ahead and do 10. So that was a pretty seamless transaction. Her dampener settings are already set, and the flywheel was still spinning. Obviously, we would be quicker in competition. Practice that technique. You may make some variations, but for the most part, that's pretty seamless. Good job. Okay, gang, we are here on station number 3 of the 10 event of Deka Strong. This is the 24-inch box overstep for 20 reps. In our partnership, we split the row, and before we get to here, 250 apiece, but I have chosen, because of my height, I do have an advantage to do the 24. So we're gonna go ahead and do a demonstration. I will do it the way that I choose to do it, and it has a lot to do with hip mobility. And Dr. Michelle will show you a way that's very popular too with people who may not be able to drive their knees up 24 inches, okay? So
or sideways, because this motion, like walking upstairs, we're all very used to doing that motion.
but not
This side motion, there's not really a lot of things in life that we do that for. And most people, a lot of women specifically, have trouble with this side motion. So there is an alternative way to do it. It's not necessarily the fastest way to do it.
In my opinion,
I do see some of the elite do it that way, and they've really mastered the art of it.
In my opinion, and you'll get to see the distance from here to here versus whenever it comes back, Dr. Michelle will do the step around. In my opinion, it takes more time because of the distance of the back foot. But it all makes sense here in one second.
You do your way you do it. Let's just go over the standard of what has to happen.
Sure.
So what actually has to happen, you have to have both feet on the ground on one side of the box. You have to get both feet up on top of the box and both feet on the other side.
Yes,
the feet do not need to be on the box at the same time. So you'll notice when coach does it, he switches his feet immediately. I don't have that skill down quite so much, but you just need to have both feet on top.
You can't have your hands on the box.
You can touch the box, so if you have to for balance.
You can touch it, but as you're coming up, you cannot have your hands on the box.
True.
When you come down, you can do that.
Yeah.
But as you're coming up, you cannot have your hands as you're stepping up.
That's true.
All right, I want to go ahead and maybe do 10 total. I'll probably do maybe 5 at 70%, and I'll do a few really fast. So anyways, here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, Doc. Now, Doc's going to show the variation for people who may not have the hip mobility.
So facing the box and just swing.
Make sure that your
Do I
foot
do
is
it
up here,
this way?
not here. Just
I don't
stay a
remember how
fine way.
I don't know how
There's
to
a way-
start it. I have to start it sideways, so that's what I'm used to, and then swing.
And as you can see with that back foot spinning back so her hips face forward, it creates way more distance. Her back foot's way
Yeah,
back
so I'm
here.
doing like a swing to get up, which is a little easier for some people than doing it up.
Yes. But that's the variation. And like I said, there are people who have perfected that swing around. But in my opinion, energy-wise, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. So I would, in my personal opinion, if you can get your hip mobility, go side to side. If not, the other version with practice is just as fast.
And then of course, if you're just starting, you can flip the box over, practice a little bit lower, or even on like a step, aerobic step,
Yep.
until you get confident, and then you move it up to the correct height.
Great cardio, great leg strength, guys. Give it a shot. All right, guys, station number 4 of the 10 in the Deka Strong. In our partnership, Dr. Michelle will do all these by herself. And there's 25 repetitions at 14 pounds for the female. However, the males will use 20 pounds. If by some chance, and you can, we decided to split this for whatever reason, my ball would be on the floor, and as she rolls out to allow me to finish whatever repetition she left off, I'd have to grab the appropriate ball. However, whenever we train, she does this all 25 by herself. Why don't you light it back? So the basic principle is this, is the ball for 1 rep is whenever you touch between your ankles and down. So whenever she comes up and down, that's 1. So the big point of this is, can you come on up, Doc? Is you want to make sure that your ball is between your ankles. Can you straighten your legs out? That's a problem. That is a problem.
Right.
Now you're extending 4 inches. So the secret is have your knees bent, your ankles as close to you as possible. That allows you to go up and down. Because you come too close, you don't have the leverage come down.
And you have to touch it over your head.
That counts as 1, okay? Now she's gonna go ahead and do 10 reps the normal way, the legal way. There's 1, 2, 3, and obviously she's very efficient, she's very strong, and she has no problem doing this. Then we're gonna show you the pro tip way. Okay, and last one, okay. That's how we started off. Here is the pro tip way. It's legal to do this. As she comes back, what happens is, she's going to lift her hips up, and then she's going to use her hips driving back to the mat for momentum. At the end of the day, to increase your time, you want to minimize muscle lactate from building up, and you want to try to use momentum within the guidelines. And the guidelines is you have to go between your ankles and have to hit above your head. If you do those 2 things, I don't think they really care if you stay your tailbone on the mat or you're up in the air.
Some people who have longer arms or maybe even a longer torso are able to
Not even come all the way up.
barely get up and able to reach there.
Yeah.
I actually have to do a sit up because I don't have super long
Yeah,
arms.
we've seen people, they're doing half a crunch, their arms are so long that they fly through there. So whenever you're going through these motions, find out what your genetic strengths and weaknesses are and go from there. Hey guys, Coach Keyjon and Dr. Michelle here again, and we're at Deka Strong station number 5, the ski erg, okay? The ski erg, like the rower, is 500 meters. As an individual, you're doing all 5. As a 2-person team, you're allowed to split it up in any way you want. I do 200, she does about 150, and I do about 100, 150 as well. So anyways, we got a little tip for you, and Dr. Michelle's going to take over here in a second. The ball slams, because a lot of you may or may not have the ski erg to practice.
Most people have probably never used a ski erg in their life. I know I hadn't before Deka.
Same here. Up until last year, I'd never used a ski erg. It sat in my gym. However, I got to tell you, doing this all year now, what she's about to show you is a phenomenal replacement. Doc, why don't you go and tell them what you're doing?
Yeah, so this is a weighted ball. It's a medicine ball. They have some that are called like slam balls, which are actually better.
Yes.
For exercise, because this one will bounce a little, but you can still get the feeling down. So the act of picking it up over your head and using your core, throw it down, is the same motion you're going to be doing on the ski erg. So you're going to come
You have
up.
to do 5 slow, and notice her up on her toes, because I'm going to do a demo here in a second, and you're going to watch my technique is exactly the same. Breathe in. How about 3 more, Doc? No, you see how she fell back? And I'm telling you right now, that is why, if you do not do the slam ball correctly, you will fall over. You can do horrible form and not fall over here. This right here is the exercise to get better at this. And last one, breathe. Okay, so we're both going to do a demonstration here. I'm about 200 pounds. Obviously, I'm going to generate more power at 200 pounds than she can, say, at 125. So for the stronger females and men out there, this is what I teach. I'm going to do mine on level 9. However, you do what works for you. The big tip is this. You want to make sure
Again, why are you doing it on level 9?
because level 9 allows you to generate more power. So per stroke, I go further. It's like I have a longer oar in the water versus a 3-foot oar versus a 7-foot oar. When a level 9 will allow me to generate more power to get to 500 meters faster.
If you were going solo in a race, would you do level 9?
If I was going to 500 meters, I could not keep up the intensity. I'll go ahead and do maybe 6 strokes, 50%, then I'll go really hard for maybe 10 strokes. You can see how much power, to the point where I could not do that for 500 meters. Maybe down the road when I get in shape, I could do level 9 for 500, but today I can't. But anyways, let me show you the tip for if you're trying to, you want to use your upper body. I do not want to take my legs out. So this would be a mistake for me. Here's the secret. If you have power in your arms, this is top half. I'm getting some power. I'm not even finishing. This is what it'll look like at speed, 50%. I want to go ahead and open it up a little bit. Here we go. Oof. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Notice, I am not using my legs. My legs are fresh for the sled push. Now, Doc, go ahead. It's going to
I'm not doing a 9. I did about 6, maybe.
Now, she's not as strong. She's strong for a female, for anybody. But
I don't have upper body weight, so what he's doing, he's leaning over and using the weight of his upper body and his arm strength.
No, a lot of lats, not triceps, lats. I'm pulling with my lats.
So you're also pulling your weight down.
Yes, I'm using my lats as a stabilizer. So go ahead and do about 8 to 10 slow. Watch your feet. You're too far back. You have to, in a slam ball, you'll fall backwards. Now notice that she is squatting a lot more than I am. She doesn't have the mass or strength that I do. So the technique that works for me may not work for you, and vice versa. It may be in between both of us. Breathe. The secret is come up to the cables. You don't want your hands going above your head. The flywheel action is toward the cable junction.
And then when you breathe, because I used to hold my breath, when I come up, I breathe here. Breathe in, breathe in. That's kind of how I do it.
And obviously this is the halfway point, and I'll say this, a big pro tip is everybody watching this can go up ballistic for 200 meters, 250, whatever, even maybe 500. The secret that's going to make you fast through all 10 events is your recovering heart rate. When we first started this together, man, we would go through one exercise.
Yeah.
Like, hold on, I got another second. I can't do that yet. So my pro tip is every time that you practice hard, as you're slowly or quickly going to the next station, all right, let's go. All right, here we go, let's go. Get your heart rate down, because I'm telling you, it's your heart rate that's going to make you, your conditioning will make cowards of us all.
Yeah, controlling, being able to take like hyperventilation state and control it with your mind, with your breath.
Yes.
So that you're back to a normal, calm state.
Yeah.
Can be a difference between winning and losing.
Well, it's like, and not to win in a street fight anytime soon. The person that's the calmest, no, the person that's the calmest is always the one in control, as opposed to, ah. But anyways, guys, push hard, and we look forward to seeing you on the Deka circuit.